All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Based in Cringe podcast, episode 2. I'm here with my co-host and good friend, Max D. Legend, or Brady. Say hello.
But what if I don't want to?
You can go fuck yourself. It's been about a week and a half, no, 2 weeks, right? 2 weeks since the last podcast. I'm a lazy
Yes.
bum ass and didn't want to record. Instead, I
All
played
of this is
Minecraft.
we blame you for this delay that
You
we
can,
have.
it's all me. Like, it's all me, bro. Nothing to do with you. It's all me.
Yes, you're
Um,
lazy.
Oh, that's an understatement to hell.
Yes.
So there's no consistent schedule when these are going to come out. Obviously, there's only like 2 people that watch them, but that's fine. So it'll be like every probably week. It'll be maximum 2 week gap between each. Because we're going to keep it consistent. And next time we're going to have a special. Next time we're going to have a special guest, which is good.
Special guest. Who could that possibly be?
Don't worry about it. That's for next time.
All right.
All right. So today we're going to start off with a very simple topic. As the title says, our atrocious gaming addictions.
Yes.
Starting off with video games. We'll get into my addiction later, but
Yes, we know you, but everyone knows about your addiction.
not
if you
everyone,
follow
but
your Twitch.
if you follow, well, yes, it's going to be going streaming till day whatever the fuck addiction to Minecraft.
Yes. But we're gonna base off of what I was wanting to do. We're gonna go with our nostalgic games from our childhoods.
Yes, and there's only I think a 1 year age gap between us, right? Only 1 year.
1.5, maybe.
1.5. Okay, that's same thing pretty much. So we grew up on the
Was.
same-ish type of
Same-ish.
styles. I'll let you go first with this. You take it.
Well, since actually the first game I ever played, do you remember those old like free games that you just like play on the browser?
Like
these were-
like Flash games.
Yeah, no, not Flash games. Like these were like Wizards 101 and
Was it on like a just like was it just like random ass games like
they're
downloaded?
just you just like download them off the browser. It was like basically like
Oh, yeah.
Roblox before Roblox existed.
Yeah, that sort of stuff. I get that. Yeah.
Yes. That's what pretty much when I was like maybe 5 or 6, that's when what I grew up on, and then I stumbled upon like at my cousin's house, he had an Xbox, the 360,
The classic 360,
the
man.
classic 360, man, and we would play Halo because it's Halo, man.
Never played Halo, man. I've
You
always
never played Halo.
I think I played it one time at a friend's house at a sleepover when I was like in like 4th grade. I don't remember anything about it. I just remember that's the only time I've ever played it. Ever.
Well,
I was uncultured as a kid, pretty much.
apparently.
Yeah, and I've never played Call of Duty either. Never. Because my parents were the ones who thought like games with guns as like when your kids were like really bad, so she wouldn't let me play those.
It's bad for like few people, but if you knew what like how to behave yourself,
If you
really
weren't
didn't have a
stupid.
problem,
If you weren't
basically.
stupid. Okay. If we want to go like way back when, my first ever like video game, I think I remember I had like in kindergarten through 1st grade, I had like an iPad. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
explain what happened to that. I might later. So basically it was like your old school games. Like there was some like penguin race game or something. Like and there was like this dirt bike game. Basically what it was you couldn't be attacked by like the polar bear. So like when you like press on the screen and like the bird would go down and you'd have to slide off hills and stuff to go faster and more up in the air.
No.
No? Okay, I'm actually going to edit this time. So I'm going to flash what the hell the icon looked like for it, if I can find it. I'm actually going to edit this time.
You completely forgot about the Beyblade.
Yeah, no, I wasn't going to find that anyway.
Probably weren't.
I had that. I don't even remember. It was just a bunch of like kids games, pretty much, on like a really old ass iPad.
Yeah.
Until 1st grade, after some concert. That's like how like I don't know if you did this in your school, but in my school we did like these. I don't know what they were like from kindergarten through 5th grade. You'd have like these like music concerts.
We had a Christmas concert each year, and that spanned from kindergarten all the way till 8th grade. Like,
No,
you had to do it, like, every year.
yeah. So like we'd get like 3 songs and you'd have to sing it. Like all the no none of the kids would really do it. Like well most did, but we did that. So after one of those, I had the iPad in my hand. There's no case on it. So like I don't
Okay,
know
so you
what I
took it to the ground?
not quite. I don't know what I was doing with it, but I remember just fucking like it. I was like putting it like up and I just lost it. It just got sent to the air and it just shattered on the ground. Like walking out the building, I was like, well,
Just yeets.
no, like it yeeted out of my fucking head like upwards. I'm like, oh shit.
Butterfingers out here just yeeting the
Bro,
fucking
first grade me, butterfingers, man, as you said. No, that was
can't handle onto the freaking handlebars of your bike. You just went woof.
I have a funny story about that maybe later, but yeah, no, to be fair, those iPads are slick as hell. Like there's not like any grip on the back of those iPads.
No, but they were chongus as hell.
Well,
So
they were about the size of like my fucking head, but like they were still like really hard to hold on to, at least from the back. So that
probably
was
because he
my
had like baby hands.
I was massive as a kid. I don't know what you mean. Uh, who knows? But yeah, that's what I got. I basically played free kids games on an iPad. Is where I started.
So I started off with like this old ass computer, and then I moved over to Amazon's Kindle Fire version 1,
Ooh.
and that's where I first got Minecraft back in like 2011, like ancient ass Minecraft Pocket Edition.
What do you know? Like it was definitely easily before 1.8 came out. Like had to be
Oh,
like 1.6,
well, I
1.5.
started out Minecraft on my computer in like the day after 1.5 came out.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I'm pretty enticed into Minecraft, but I've actually had Roblox longer than I've had Minecraft.
I remember you've brought that up before, but when was the last time you even played Roblox?
Months, because A, I lost my password and I just don't feel like
Making a new
uh
one.
well recreating the password, and then two, it's just like out of the way.
Yeah.
There's
Uh
not a whole lot to do, and it's just a whole bunch of it's pretty much a children's game at this point.
yeah. By the way, Asian plays that still, but we don't talk about that on here. So basically I think yeah, my first console was an Xbox 360. And the big thing about it for me or my family would thought like like the Xbox Connect stuff.
Oh God, yeah, I have one. I actually end up stealing my cousin's
I
for the
have it.
360.
I can't pull it over here, but I have it somewhere.
Mine's
Uh,
upstairs. I know where mine's at.
so so what my parents got me when I first got it, I think it was Christmas. I don't know what year I was. It came with the Xbox, the Connect, and like Connect Adventures.
So
That
you
game.
got the Connect bundle.
I believe so. Now, and I there were like 2 other games that came with that. It was some Sonic game that also used the Connect, which actually wasn't a half-ass
S-
bad game.
s- I couldn't. I don't know what game it would be, because my first console happened to be the fan favorite Wii, because the Wii is god tier console even in today's standards.
I
Because
literally bought. If you don't know, people, I literally bought one like a month ago.
yeah, it's the first time you ever pretty much played a Wii.
Pretty much, excluding my friend's house. Actually, I'm gonna go back to mine real quick. I literally just grabbed these right now. I got like it's gonna be flip. Oh no, it's not flip. Never mind. Connect Adventures right here. This game actually gives you like a fucking workout. Like it's unbelievable. Like if I were to play this today, I'd get like my cardio for the day. It was actually a good game, not bad.
Here, let me get a console
And
real quick that I possess. You can
before we cut to this,
continue on.
yeah, before he gets his ass back here, this is the other one. Sonic Freeriders. This game is basically like, it's basically like your Minecraft. Not my fuck, not Minecraft. Basically like your Mario Kart, but like you were like on like a hoverboard. It was like That was like
What
really
the
weird. Let me
fuck?
explain this to him again.
What what is that?
No, this is so it's basically Mario Kart, right? So you like stand like sideways to the connect thing.
Oh, that's Sonic Free Riders.
Yeah.
I didn't see what it was.
Yeah, so it's basically that you'd like jump at jumps and stuff. You'd like lean your body to like turn and stuff. It wasn't a bad game, it just wasn't that entertaining.
Yeah.
Um and then I think also that year for my birthday, which my birthday's 8 days after Christmas, I got Minecraft Xbox 360 edition. Now
Yeah.
that's its own story.
So back to the Wii because God tier. Mario Kart Wii, easily the best Mario Kart in existence.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you, brother.
Mario Kart 8 is not as good as Wii.
Dude, it's nowhere near as good. But the only game, only because it's nostalgic, but I'll get into that when it's my turn, is DS.
No, Mario Kart Wii is better than DS. I don't know what your Nathaniel Bandy loving head ass is thinking, but Mario. I grew up with Mario Kart Wii, so that one's just better to me. And well, I got my DS over here.
Bruh.
See,
Nice, dude. Good job.
I know it. I haven't powered it on in forever, but
Hey, hey. I got one too. I got one too. Look, mine you oh, oh, oh. This is
DS
great
be
content,
like,
guys.
DS be like,
It's like your case, I got a Mario Kart Galaxy case.
what game do you got in yours right now?
I have none in mine. I cleaned it out.
Oh my, I have Pokemon Black version. Just
Bruh.
vibing.
Crazy. Okay, go back to your Mario Kart Wii head ass.
So Mario Kart Wii best game. So we had some other ones for, the Wii. So we had this one game is called Munchables. If you've ever heard of that.
Oh, what was the game? If you tell me
Just-
specifically, I might. Oh, and we'll be right back.
I gotta go apparently bring up clothes because we're washing clothes.
You have a shit ton of
So,
clothes around your room.
well, it's just jeans. We
That
don't-
pile right behind your head is not jeans. What is
I
that
know
orange?
it's-
That is not orange jeans behind you.
What orange do you see? There's no
Next to your
orange
fucking
there.
gun case.
That's a flannel.
It looks orange on my screen.
That's a red flannel. Anyway, I gotta go bring up a pair of jeans. I'll be back.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
We're
I guess
back
we're
now.
back. Yep.
And okay, well, what were you saying?
What was I
Wii.
saying? It was
The Wii.
So there's this game. It's called. I believe I was on the topic about Munchables. Was I?
Oh, Munchables. I thought you said Lunchables. I was like,
No, that's a
that's a
food.
game. That's a shit food though. All right.
It is a pretty shit food. I've only had them like once in existence, and I was like jealous when all the kids brought them to school.
That's
Then
just
you
how it
realize,
worked. And then you buy them, and then you're like, oh, this is dog
like,
shit. Why am I eating this?
dog water.
Okay. So Munchables.
So Munchables was a game. So you get two characters to choose from. Let me search it up. Munchables real quick.
Bum.
On ye old.
Was it? Is it? It's not like for some reason Overcooked came in my head. I don't know why. It's
No,
not
so
like that, is it?
This is a game you pick between two characters. So, uh, you're either this orange guy with a like blue bottom, or you're like this weird pink cat. Like it look almost like a armless and legless Kirby cat hybrid.
That sounds fucked.
It was weird. So your goal, like the premise of the game was that uh an alien had invaded the planet and like made these weird monster food hybrids. So the goal of the game is for you to run around, and there's like 8 worlds, and your goal is to run around and eat as much as the enemies as possible.
So it's basically like your basic like story game, but like instead of killing them, the enemies, you just eat them.
You basically eat them, and eating them gets you like progress. I know it was made by Bandy Namco, so it's not that. It's from a known. Uh,
Yeah, I get that. I get what you mean.
yeah.
That sounds kind of fucked. I mean, it's just like it's why. The real question is why would that appeal to a child?
I don't know. My mom just like saw it on Amazon. Is like, I guess they're just.
You know what would
But
have been funny is if you said Cooking Mama and then you had that as a kid. That would have been fucking great.
I do not have that.
And hopefully I never do get that game. All right, is it
No,
my
you could.
turn?
Uh, yeah. Well,
What were you gonna say? Go on.
so you were talking about like the workout thing with
Connect Adventures.
Connect Adventures.
Connect Adventures,
So
guys.
I was gonna bring up my next console, the Oculus Quest 2.
You got that like literally like 4 years ago, didn't you?
I got it like a few months. Like I got it in November.
Bruh.
So a lot of people should know what a Quest 2 is.
A lot of people
You know
should
what?
know what it. If for some reason, if my dad for some reason listens to this, it is a VR headset. If because you probably don't know what that means.
But like basically that will give you a workout no matter what you do. And that's why Beat Saber exists. So you can listen to music while you're working out.
That's like that's like the weirdest thought I've ever had. That's like
But
the weirdest thing
but
ever, bro.
it's true.
In a weird way, it's true, but like it's like the weird. It's basically just this. That's all it
I
is.
mean, it's better than playing Wii Sports baseball and you're just sitting in a chair going,
That's totally how you play Wii Sports baseball. That's totally how you do it.
I mean, I'm close.
Not quite, but if you play baseball, Wii Sports baseball sitting down, you're just fucking stupid. Um,
Where you're Dylan trying to
he stands up.
speed.
What the fuck do you mean? He
I know he
stands up.
stands up, but who speed runs Wii Sports?
People who like short speed runs. I don't know. All right, I'll go with my next. As I said, my first console was the Xbox 360. First real game was Minecraft, like old ass one too. I'd play it with my good old buddy. He lives like a block and a half away from me. He'd just come over. We'd do that for like hours on end, and we'd beat up his brother because his brother was terrible at the game.
Nice.
Other than that, I didn't have a lot of other games. Growing up on Xbox, I had a game called Rayman Origins. You
So
know
you
what the
played
Rayman? You
Rayman.
know what Rayman is?
I know what Rayman is. I've never played it.
It's Rayman Legends was by far my favorite game of the two that I had. I heavily recommend it. It was very good. And then after that, I gotta look what's over there. I don't know what's over there. I think my next console was the Wii U. Now the Wii U was a very interesting concept. It didn't do well.
You mean the worst console flop, and besides the Virtual Boy that Nintendo ever had?
It's better than the Virtual Boy.
It is better than the Virtual Boy, but not by much because it's
To be
basically
fair,
it's an upgraded Wii.
I don't understand why it gets so much hate. Like it's not a great console. Don't get me wrong, it's not great, but it's people give it a lot more hate than it deserves. That's just coming from me who got introduced to the game of Splatoon, which came with it. Um, I really love Splatoon games. First third person shooter I've ever played. Very different feel. I don't know. It was okay. I only got Mario Kart 8, the original one, out of it. It was really really fun. And then I never like barely touched it. And now it doesn't work because of internet problems and parental controls being a bitch.
Yes, sir.
So that's
Which
a
is
thing. And
which is why the DS was like, well, not the DS. The DS's Wi-Fi support. When was that cut out? It was cut off before the Wii's.
now it was cut out at one point, and then when COVID hit, they actually brought it back. I think it was, I don't know if it was the DS, some console Nintendo had.
It
They,
had to been the Wii U because
it
that's
wasn't the
like
Wii U. That
mm,
still has it, I think. But they brought some console back with Wii, not with Wii, but like with like internet connection stuff, like online stuff. They brought it back during COVID. Now it's not there anymore still because it's like 2 years after that primarily hit, but they did bring it back for a year and a half, which
Because I
was
know they wouldn't have done it for the Wii because there's a mod that Mr. Bean VR 999 made that actually takes his own servers and allows the Wii to have servers again,
I think I've
but
seen that.
you can only play Mario Kart Wii with it.
I have seen that, but I am fairly confident that it was some type of DS internet connection that did get brought back. That was really fun. And my final console, excluding the Wii I bought a month ago, is the Nintendo Switch. Great, honestly, it's just a good console. Like there's not a lot to be said about it. You can technically take it anywhere. You can put it on a TV. It's just a good console, man. Like
So I'm gonna go through the consoles that I've played with because I think I've played with more consoles than probably most people have, considering like in our age spectrum.
high teenager, really young adult,
Yes,
basically.
because I mean I've played on original Xbox, original PlayStation, PlayStation 2 and 3 because my uncle had two of them for had both of them for some reason. Xbox 360, Xbox One, Wii, and if you count the Quest,
I don't know if I count that as a console. I don't think VR you could count as like a console.
it technically does. I would technically count it as a like a computer. More
I don't I don't know where I'd classify like a VR headset because you do need a computer for it, right?
this one you do not. The Quest is a standalone, so it has its own processor and own graphics by itself.
Then and I don't know. I just for some reason I think console like it has some like deck for it. VR headset's just kind of a thing on its own. Like it's its own,
And
as you just said, it's its own standalone
well,
thing.
back to my list. I have played on Wii U. I have played Switch. I pretty much play. I technically played PS5, but not really, considering the fact it was just Quiplash on my friend's PS5 that he has.
I mean, you did technically use it, so
But not really, since it was just Quiplash.
I don't know. I don't know, brother. Okay. Yeah, no. Going back to the Switch here. It's just a good console. I mean, it needs to be upgraded FPS wise. They're trying to do it. It's Switch is very limited on how fast it can run stuff. That's the only downside. 60
Steam
hertz,
Deck be
60
like.
hertz. Yes, that's bad. Um, it also introduced Splatoon 2. There's a majority of games. All the new Pokemon games on it are pretty okay, except Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl. Dylan will
Those are
know what I
just
mean.
remakes.
Those are shit games. I'll tell you that right now. Those are shit games. New Pokemon games, Splatoon 2, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe was another one. The new Lego Star Wars game I've got on it as well. It has a lot of other stuff on it that are good games. It's just, I don't know. Super Mario Odyssey was probably the best Mario game they ever came out with. I mean, they did a good
No,
job
the
with it.
best Switch port would probably be Legend of Zelda called Wild because
Breath of the Wild.
Breath of whatever
That it's between that and Mario Odyssey. It's just whoever played which one more, pretty much.
first.
Because I don't think you can make really a choice which one is better.
Yeah. I mean, I've haven't played either of them because
Just not who you are, and you don't. Do you own a
no,
Switch?
I don't.
No, that's all. That also helps. But for me
I
personally,
instead of buying a Switch, I bought the Oculus because I do more. This has more things I can do with it
valid.
because I can use it for browsing stuff online. It can be used for, I mean, basically most of what you can do on a computer, you can do on a Quest.
Basically, yeah. That's I could see that. But yeah, no. Yeah, I don't think you could pick between Odyssey and Breath of the Wild. It's literally just personal preference, and it's probably really even split. Um, I don't have a lot else with consoles. We'll go into computers in a minute, and when we first got those and what we played. I don't want to start with that because it's really boring and short. So
Yes, because you haven't had
it'll,
very many computers.
I'll get to that. You go. Your turn. What'd you start with?
For computers?
Like, so what we're going from console and console games to computers and computer games.
So we've pretty much already gone through console games I played, really. I was big on Xbox for most of it because those are the two main consoles that I bought for years.
Mm-hmm.
So I bought my 360 back in 2012 because basically the height of the 360.
Mm-hmm.
So I had Black Ops 2, Halo Reach, and Halo 3 along with Minecraft, and then the first Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare.
That's that's pretty good. That's a good selection. That's a really good selection.
So I got a great story with I actually have two copies of Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare because when I went to go buy my 360, uh my console was running and my dad was like trying to figure out what I was doing, so he ended up scratching the disc from the inside of the console itself while it was running
Hmm.
and completely screwed over my first copy. So he had to buy me another one. And let me just tell you, Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare is I, I gotta say is better than the second one.
Like the original one's better than the sequel.
Yes, because the sequel added on too much from the second Plants vs Zombies game. Like
Like, it's still a good game though, from what I've heard. It's still a
it's
good
still
game.
pretty good. It's just that the first one is just like hits different.
The first one's just basically. I'm assuming I've never played either. I think I played one. I don't. I think I played two one time at my friend's house. I don't remember much about it. It's just
No,
nostalgia, right?
I own two, and I can say two adds in three new characters. They add in like the Colonel Cobb, the Citron, and then like this Rose character.
Oh, that.
And
Yep, I know who you're talking about.
and honestly, I don't think it really adds much. It's just basically EA trying to get more money out of you by adding three new characters that really don't do a whole lot since the original game had pea shooter, sunflower, cactus, and what else did it have?
Chomper, right?
It had Chomper. It had those, and then the zombies. The three new zombies like basically don't do anything because most people like Soldier Main and
One thing
Soldier and NG Main like no other.
I do remember about the game. I think when I do remember playing it like one time, I remember the only one being like useful. Remembering of the three was the kernel, the corn.
That's the only one that really matters out of the ones that they added.
Yeah, that's what I remember. The other I'll bring up the other another game from. So he had a PS3, right? That's the only time I ever played it. It was rare. The other game was Fat Princess. Um, basically, so basically what it was, right? You'd have like these teams of like random bots. Um,
Yeah.
it's basically domination. So like you would have there's like 7 or 6 classes and you choose, but then you'd have to go get resources, but also not let them take your queen. It's basically
Hmm.
capture the flag, but like you'd have to. I'm pretty sure you'd have to kill the queen, the other team's queen, like red versus blue. You'd
So
have to
it's
get.
basically like two team like Wither Assault in Hypixel.
If you're really comparing it to that,
Or
not really, no.
no.
So basically what it was, you had a map. You'd upgrade your classes, quote unquote. Like you had like the one that had harvester, like harvest more materials, the archer, the mage, the
Yeah.
knight, like the tank, all their basic stuff. And then you just level it up with materials, take it back. You go try and kill their queen. It was actually more entertaining than it probably should be, But I don't know. That's all I got for console games. The games I played were, if I'll include DS since I didn't play many console games, Minecraft, Splatoon, Mario Kart DS, Pokemon White, and New Super Mario Bros.
All right. So back on my topic about I guess I'm gonna transition over to PC gaming because everyone
Yes.
knows that PC gaming is superior to console gaming any day of the week.
Elite.
Elite because you're not paying for online.
And it's also a lot
It's more stable.
more stable, easier to play. Well, easier to play
Yeah.
than using a controller to aim, especially with aiming like shit you have to aim with.
Yeah. So my first computer that I was given was this is old Dell like laptop. It was like this gray hunk of thickety thick boy of a laptop.
Like the Ultra Chungus.
It was an Ultra Chungus, I'll tell you that. So it ran Roblox pretty well. I
That's it, right? That's it.
it, basically this was I had this laptop before I had my Minecraft account, so it never got to see the day to run Minecraft before I just like got given my other laptop, which was my dad's old Dell Inspiron that he was given when he was still in the military. So this one actually ran pretty well for
For what
a
it
lap
was.
for what it was. Like you could run 150 mods on Minecraft and it would just take it. Like
Like granted, it probably didn't run well, right?
they run 60 FPS with 150 mods downloaded into
Hmm.
Minecraft. It was like a tank of a laptop. It was like surprising.
Well,
But you'd
you said your dad got it from the military, right?
yeah, it was like this
That's why.
it is like this Dell Inspiron that was like really well put together before Dell turned to garbage. The only problem was is that the battery like was god awful, so you'd always have to keep it plugged in.
Oh, yeah, I could see that.
And we've tried putting like a replacement battery in it, and it just like still wouldn't do crap. So I think it was like the battery connector itself inside the motherboard was bad, and just we didn't know how to replace it.
I mean,
So
yeah, fair
I think
enough.
it'd still work, and it just has a whole bunch of files on it that we can't get rid of. So then there's the first tower I had, which was my mom's old Dell. We had a lot of Dells, and this other one was also an Inspiron. And I think the power supply actually blew up on that one
Like dead
because
ass, it blew up.
it didn't like completely blow up. It just wouldn't turn
Aw,
on.
damn.
It was pretty good at running Minecraft with the 150 mods put into it.
Is that
And I
just like
think
the thing you tested it with? Yo, can this run 150 Minecraft mod?
basically like you could use Mo TNT and blow up a supernova and it'd be fine in about 15 seconds.
I still just complete random thing here. I still hate how the mod doesn't work anymore unless there's some way, but I can't
I
figure
think
out how to
that's
get the mod
just
to work.
you.
It's cause it crashes every time because it can't load some fucking stupid shit. But that's its own thing. Go on
Then
to your
we
thing.
have some ancient ass computers. We have 3 in our house right now that still run on Windows XP cuz why not?
That's great.
Because
That's great.
you use that to run your MS Paint so you can make the world's worst MS Paint drawings. Then we have this old Dell XPS that we have that ran dual
Oh,
NVIDIA 9800s.
oh
It
god.
was a, so it wouldn't run crap because it ran on Windows Vista.
Well,
So it was like there so you could play Earthworm Jim.
yeah. So that's basically how you started like all your PC stuff from
That's
like
basically
So you went from shitty laptop to tank laptop to shit rig to what was the last one?
well, then it brings me to so I have this other laptop that's absolute piece of
Hold
garbage
on, before
that
we
I
move
was
on,
gonna
how many
use.
fucking laptops did you have, my guy? Jesus Christ.
For what I've owned, 4.
Including this one you're on right. Well, I don't. You're not on a
So
laptop.
we have the really bad one that I bought for $100 off of bootleg eBay.
Wish.
It wasn't Wish.
Damn.
This was before Wish even existed.
Damn.
Uh, so that one, like, I used for school. It was absolute garbage. And then I bought my Legion. But then, Christmas 2018 be like, my parents give me this tower that I couldn't even run Black Ops 3 properly on. So then I decided, hey, I need to upgrade my stuff out here. So I went to my boy Spoody. And you know Spoody, he hates your guts because
Because of something stupid I did, but that we're not bringing that
yes.
up right now.
So Spood's really good with computers. Learned a lot from him. Then that's how I learned how to put graphics card and more RAM into the rig that I'm currently using at the moment.
I'll flash his specs on screen real quick just to throw a quick flex in there for him.
I do have the box for the graphics card behind me.
No, I mean his specs.
Oh, Spood specs.
Spood specs.
For which computer?
The one that he sent me like ages ago when I was searching for mine, which is all you need to know is 128 gigabytes of RAM. That's all you need to know.
Yes. So that's basically where I'm standing at for computers because I can't afford to do anything else.
Because you work at a stupid job for shit money.
Yes, and I'm currently looking for a new one.
Makes sense. Okay. Now it is my turn. Mine is not nearly as jam-packed as Brady's. Basically, I had like no money like ever, except from the time from Christmas to my birthday when I'd get like $300 in total ish, because it was like back to back.
That's enough to buy you a console.
Well, I spent it on Skylanders. That's a whole nother deal on itself, by the way. I forgot about that.
Yeah, we both played Skylanders. We'll talk about that after your.
We're not going to talk about it. We might bring that up some other time. I own over probably 120 Skylanders easily.
I own more than you do.
I don't give a fuck. So my computer like life has not been interesting. Basically, how it was, I think it was 5th grade when I first started using a computer. So what my family had this like Mac OS. Now, if you don't know, Macs are dog shit for everything except Google Docs and Word and whatever the fuck normal applications you use. Other than that, it's dog shit. It was like I think a 2013 Mac, which I would have been in. It would have been 2015 or 2016. I started using it. The only game that worked was Minecraft for the most part. Epic Games worked on it until like about 2018, and until Epic Games just started fucking blocking everything with Mac related because of Fortnite. Basically, as it says, is gaming addiction in the title. This was the sad start and still existing build up to my Minecraft addiction. Now, Minecraft addiction is not as childish and dumb as it sounds. It basically started off with good old friend Dylan, big foehead. Was that big foehead, etc.
That is Minecraft.
I didn't meet him. I didn't know him until 7th grade, but so basically, I went to his house one time, his old house. He had like I think it was his family computer at the time. He played Mineplex, like Turf Wars Mineplex. That was his go-to game. I was like, yo, I need to do this. So I went home, got Minecraft, got an account, all that stuff from my parents. I was like begging them. So then I go on, and somehow in my head, I somehow thought of Hypixel, even though he never showed me Hypixel. So he showed me games on Mineplex. But then my first ever IP server was Hypixel, so I played Hypixel for a little bit. And I was like, bro, where's the server that he was on? I was so lost as a kid. I was like, what the hell? What is this? This is not the right one. So then later on, I got
No.
Mineplex. That was so then Bed Wars changed the whole deal for me. I played it a lot anyway because I was a
Bed Wars
middle
came
schooler.
out. I need to search this up. When did Bed Wars come out
I
for
think 28,
Minecraft?
2017 or 20 between 2017 2019 I think it came out sometime. So basically, I played Minecraft a lot. Lot of Mineplex Super Smash Mobs, great game. Um, and then Hypixel started taking over with Sky Wars and Bed Wars. I switched to that. I did it with Dylan a shit ton. We were terrible, and that concludes what that was with the Mac. And then I think it was around that I met you in late 2019. I
So,
met
from my my research, February of 2017 was when
that
Bed
makes
Wars
sense.
was introduced into the prototype lobby.
That makes perfect sense actually. So then we do that. If you're really nostalgic, you'll remember that it wasn't actually Iron Forge first, but that's its own thing. So I met it was Coal Forge, by the way. So then in late 2019, I sold the Mac. I met you. I met the original group. That's once again that's its own ordeal where everyone is now. Um, and yeah, we did that, and then basically all I was hearing for about a month was you need a actual computer.
Yes,
Which it
because
was, no, which it was true. Like, yes, I knew that, and I knew Max couldn't do shit, and I'd always try to do other things it wouldn't. So give it about April of 2020, I get a job. I save up about 2,200, get a computer, get my entire setup, which I have right now. So I get that in about late July, and now I have had the same computer from then to now. Almost had it a whole year. That's as simple as it goes. It's not a bad computer. It was just a little overpriced. Not too bad though. I don't know. It wasn't horrible. That's my PC life. Had a shit Mac. By the way, my parents replaced the Mac that we had with a better one, which I don't like at all.
see, the thing is about your Mac, the reason why we told you, like, I think the only reason why we told you you needed a computer is because, m-
Every game that y'all would play, I couldn't because
well, macOS 14 like had this update in it. This was from Nova
I
that
think it was 15. I think
it was 15 or 14 that
it was
didn't allow
15.
you to play certain Steam games.
I so you could basically how it was. I'm from what I remember, it was macOS 15. Um, basically what it was, it changed some like so basically like you could have Steam and you could like have bought games. You could even buy games that are only meant for Windows. Why? I don't know. Um, so basically when you tried to load up the game, it's something to do with 64-bit and 32-bit that would show up. I
Yeah,
don't know what it was. It happened with every game. I couldn't tell you why.
that macOS 15 like blocked every like 32-bit application that you could use. It was like the dumbest thing.
And it was I think it wasn't only for Steam. I think for almost any
It
launcher.
was any 32-bit launcher.
Yeah, and I don't know why they did that. But I mean, granted, macOS isn't good for gaming anyway. Who knew? Who
No,
knows? Who
even though
knows
that
how good it would have been?
their processors are more powerful enough, it's just that you can't because
macOS.
Mac doesn't put cooling in their computers to do anything. So when you do try to game, it heats up like an oven.
Yeah, no, that was like my whole childhood up until like last year, which it's a I was older and I really wanted one. And the whole point was to get me a PC so I could play other games. Which, granted, I have played other games, just not a lot.
Except you just keep going back to Minecraft because you won't
Explaining my gaming addiction.
buy other games because you don't have a job.
To be fair, when I did have money, like there were certain games I bought, but mostly console games I buy. Um, and besides, game selection for some reason with obviously the people we hung out with was actually a lot more limited than we thought.
That's because, like, with the group, it's just that It basically ran if one person didn't like what we were doing, like, we couldn't play the game. It was like, "Bro, like,
And
no."
we made it sound like we wanted to play so many games. This is like between the group me and Brady had. That we made it seem like we played a lot of games. We only played a selection of like 4 or 5, even when I got the
That's
new
because we
computer.
were limited because some people's computers, to not be named, couldn't run some of the games that we wanted to play,
Yeah, and
and or
then
didn't like it because they thought this other game was 10 times better because it was free and it was something he grew up with. It's like, bro, please. Everyone knows that Call of Duty is a cult classic and is better than Team Fortress 2 in any way, shape, or form.
totally not shouting out anybody there. Shout outs to
Yeah,
you for
definitely
watching this, by the
not.
way. Um,
But
but
Call of
yeah,
Duty will forever be engraved in my mind, along with Halo. Halo is better than Call of Duty, in my opinion,
yeah, that makes perfect sense. I could see that, but yeah. So
because I grew up with Halo more than COD.
basically, the simple reason it's called this is because gaming and my addiction to Minecraft. What caused it was the Mac. It being the only game I could play. I'd go on stretches during like COVID break, playing it for 8 to 10
You played
hours,
it
7 days
for
a
a
week. I played
while,
it nonstop.
and
Like it was.
that was like before me and you got to like know each other very well, where you wouldn't even let me in a call with Charlie and Rainbow because like they didn't
There was
like
a time
playing
where
with
for some
me.
reason we all hated you.
I don't know why, like
Oh, I don't know either.
because I literally haven't changed.
No, you haven't,
Like
but yeah, no. I would play it for, assuming my math is right, sometimes up to 50, 60 hours a week playing Minecraft every day through COVID break.
if you didn't have school, you would still be doing that.
Not as much though. Not as like consistently. You know how I said 8 to 10 hours a day? I don't do that. That's physically not possible
You
anymore.
would have today if you didn't have
No,
to
I,
go visit a college. You can
dude,
come with me and join me for my 3 hour stream that I had earlier.
dude, I would have probably joined you for that, but like, I don't know why. Like, I can't play that for 8 hours. You've seen me get off after like 1 hour sometimes.
Now this is before I met you and Charlie, back in my early Minecraft days when I'd play on factions.
Oh, God, factions was always a shithole, dude.
So
Always.
everyone knows if you're a big factions nerd, uh, the Camping Rusher had played on the server called the Archon.
Oh boy.
So it was just me and one of my friends who also happened to be named Dylan. Both of me and my friend, both cybernized friends Dylans for some reason have the world's largest foreheads.
Elongated forehead.
I know it's kind of strange to be honest with you. Uh, so we would play. I think there's sometimes we'd play factions and sit there for 10 hours straight, like playing factions. And if you've ever played factions before, that is just sitting there and pretty much building farms and or grinding farms.
Factions was something I never got into because one, you basically need 4 people for it to be even worth playing, which I
Yeah.
never had. It's such a grindy game. It's it's not like a game you go to play for fun. If you're gonna commit to it, you're gonna commit to it.
It's basically like Rust.
And it's basically a giant scam because of that reason. You get raided once, you lose all your shit, and you
And
have to
basic
grind your way back up.
it's it basically if you're like
Think, damn it.
weak. No. If you're not like you know that how there's like some factions like the Archon is a specific use for this. So there's like this faction. They're now called from what I
Oh,
last remember, they're called Africa. So this
of course.
faction is spread out through like several different faction servers. So what they do, they allocate certain people to different servers so they can be the top faction on each server. And each server, like after each season of factions, they pay out like a certain amount of money to the factions.
Yeah,
So
and
you have these like absolute no lives that have people that span across the world, so they always have like a couple people on at all times, like just getting paid to sit there, pretty much.
That's that's the gist of it. And for me, the only time I remember playing factions was you know Woofless and Preston, right?
Yeah,
Woofles.
they had
I
that
was I was on
faction
their
too.
server. So basically, before they patched this, like the only way I could figure out getting money in like a lazy way instead of actually grinding. So you know how like you like jump down in a massive combat area?
Yes, I actually am probably some of the few people that hated their faction servers so much.
Well, I hate any faction server pretty much. So what I did, right? So you can fly and spawn.
Yeah,
So what I do, so basically you had to jump down. There was this massive like word, like saying something. I don't know what it was. Like made in like 3 block wide blocks. So what I do is fly it up as you can, then go forward until it disables your flight. You land on the word. Now, if you stand on a certain part of the word, you'll be in the combat area. And
yeah.
and for certain servers, if you stay in the combat area long enough, you'll get money from it. So I would sit there, making sure nobody would kill me for about until however long it took someone to find me and kill me. And I would get probably like $5,000, $10,000 like every like 20 minutes. I'd coin flip it to see if I get more money out of it.
So
Uh,
you basically sat there just gambling, is what I'm hearing.
Pretty
And
much. It was I don't know why that was part of the area. Um, you had to stand on like the corner. It was odd. That's the only thing I remember about it. But otherwise than that, factions was shit unless you pay to win.
basically, and a lot of those like bigger factions had everyone with like the maxed rank,
It's
where you
it's
just
so
get
bad.
like we
Factions is so
paid
bad.
for like ranks at some point in it, and it was like it's not worth it. With like we tried to bring Charlie into it at one point. This was like a couple years ago, and it's just like didn't work out because Charlie can't stick on one thing.
The whole
And
factions ideal is actually like really stupid unless you can find a bug or something for money like a duplication glitch or something like certain YouTubers do. I don't know. It's not worth it. You also have to grind MCMMO levels like Cherry Z.
yeah, and like what we would do, like our strategy for it, we would try to go to the border as fast as possible, and then like in the middle of nowhere, we'd have these gigantic sugarcane farms that spanned. They're like these 100 by 100 sugarcane farms that had like 10 layers. It
Yeah,
was,
and basically the only way you could get any sort of profit was if you made gigantic ass farms and AFK'd them almost all day.
and you had like 100 iron golem farms because
And then not even to bring up the economy on faction servers is dog shit. Shit
but
goes up and down like crazy, and it's how that works, but it screws people because people make a bunch of cactus farms and then they're worth nothing. And
yeah,
then you go to sugarcane. Oh shit, people are doing this now. Let's just fucking get rid of it. They got rid of it. They nerfed it to shit. So now the two most common ways of getting money, well, not most common, but popular, are just gone. They don't work.
that's why the Archon got rid of cactus for the sole purpose is that you could have these farms that you could AFK like none other.
You could,
Like
yeah.
cactus farms got so efficient that they just like decided to take him off because like you could do sugarcane, which got you more money, and it's just like you have to move.
Yeah, it's its own deal. It's kind of the same deal with Skyblock. Um,
I hate Skyblock, especially high pixels. That's just a sorry excuse for actual Skyblock.
Skyblock on itself is actually like the normal Skyblock experience. It's not like your basic Skyblock is not great. With a
No, but if
couple
you
with a
get
couple modifications to it. Like if you get a basic starter kit is pretty good. If you
yeah,
have access to just cobblestone generators and if you have like oh what was it? So basically your basic Skyblock servers would have like these achievements. It was
yeah,
like get a stack of cobblestone raise your
And
island
then
level to over 10, which would like have more valuable items on it, so you'd raise the level.
yeah, and
And
it'd
you'd
like give you stuff and
basically, it was your progression. And what you do sometimes is through this progression, there was like 4 tiers of achievements. At that point, you'd get money because you had to. So then you start
yeah,
getting spawners, and then if you were lucky, you got like a drop. Some rich person just giving away all their shit. Like one time, me and
yeah,
Dolan got like 6 iron golem spawners, and we made a massive ass farm
yeah,
that got us a shit ton of money. We bought more. Like it was that was a it's fun when it's not too simple, slightly modified with achievements, and money is not too busted.
yeah.
But then you go to Hypixels, which is surprisingly popular, but it is dog shit, man. It is
It
dog
is
shit.
well, it's like barely skyblock. Like
It's
you
not playable.
no.
You can't sit there and play it for an hour and make progress.
It's worse for the server itself because it takes up their servers and makes the rest of the server lag.
The
Along with the SMP, which is another mistake. Like you could
the
literally have
SMP, in my opinion, was a fluke.
even though it exists.
It was a good idea on Hypixel's part, right? It's an easy way to have multiplayer servers. But they did it at like the
The
worst time
worst,
possible.
like you had the Dream SMP, you had the
Well, the Dream SMP was slowly descending when they
yeah,
it was almost at its bottom peak when they added it to Hypixel, in which nobody was interested. At least from what I know. I don't think there's a lot of people playing Hypixel SMP right now. I don't. I
I think
don't think so.
there's like 5,000 people that play it for some reason.
And yeah, going back to Skyblock, Hypixel Skyblock, when they first made a thing, it wasn't bad from what I
No,
heard. And then they started making it pay to win slowly.
basically.
You
They
had
made
to
it
buy ranks to get access to certain items or items early, which gave the temptation. Simple marketing stuff. Um,
Technoblade did not help it at all.
Technoblade made it. He wasted his life away for that
He
game.
did. He wasted so much time getting like the king of potatoes.
But for
Like
him,
they
time equals money, and him becoming the
apparently
potato god
him
was got him
him
money.
him instead of slaying kids for coin, he potato equals you're the ruler of.
Yeah, the only two people I know who actually made Skyblock like somewhat entertaining to watch were Technoblade and Time Dio.
Now, there was an arc in the Hypixel thing where for some reason the community decided to elect a dictator.
That was I heard. I never played it because I always
Now,
hated
me and
it, but
Charlie were playing it highly when that happened. So, basically you had to wear a mask at in public that had it was like this just basic bitch like gray Steve mask that you had to wear in public so then you wouldn't like get in trouble. And then like you had to like a portion of your like
money went
sellings.
to taxes.
Yeah, it was like the dumbest thing in existence. So then like Technoblade, of course they brought Technoblade into it and there's like this
This whole arc about it basically became this quote unquote war in the server, but against this one dictator. Hypixel, that was the best thing they did in the last 2-3 years with that, and
and
now
it's
it's
like
now it's irrelevant.
and then you like people got all these like this exclusive like weapons and stuff from that event that I still have. So I'm just like keeping hold of it, making like seeing if it ever raises in value for the sole point that I don't think a lot of people that play it now are old enough to play that have that armor and
Yeah, I
stuff.
know it was Hypixel Skyblock's its own demon.
Yeah.
Has close to minimum a third of its player base at all times,
Yeah.
unless there's 100,000 people, which there never is anymore. The max is about
No.
80K on weekends. Um,
It's
but
because
yeah, no.
servers are slowly dying.
Um, that's man. The old game modes are fun. Like one game mode that should I want to come back is survival games.
Like good survival games instead of Hypixel's like
Now,
waste of a
high
survival
pixels.
games.
I understand how high pixel survival games would have been somewhat popular compared to like the original. It was something different, but
But
it
now
once
that it's
again,
like so old that it's basically if you played it when it first came out, you're just gonna be always good at it.
if you grinded high pixel skyblock to the point where you had like there's one kit that's really popular that every person who hasn't maxed uses that gives you hella good armor off the start, and it's
Yeah,
broken as shit. It's unplayable if you go against those guys.
yeah.
But then there's only like one server I can think of. I don't know the name that has normal
Well,
survival games that isn't shit.
well, you had Minecraft Monday with Keemstar. He had that survival
That's
game server.
that's its own thing. We don't have time to talk about that
Yeah,
currently.
we'll do
We'll
that in a later podcast.
we'll talk about events and stuff some other time.
Now
Gaming events, all
there
that.
was the Nexus, which was ran by
Yep.
Jerome and Beijing Canadian. That was probably the best one.
Yeah, that was really well done. I never played it because I was too young, but that was good. My
Now,
here, hot take.
Mineplex.
Mineplex's survival games were not that bad. Their kits were not
Mineplex
that broken.
Mineplex took the kit system and made it fair because it basically said, "Hey, you get a grind for like gems, and you get this kit that everyone can get really easily. It's just a little bit of grinding, and or get you just play the server and you go to the creeper.
Like
It's like
to be fair, it wasn't. It's by far the most balanced kit system in survival games. That you even like the default ones are not that bad.
no
The apple thrower, I think, and like something with the axe. The only ones that were a little bit broken, especially
barbarian.
especially in solo, were barbarian and the wolf. When if you got the wolf off the start and
You're screwed.
the guy you were going for, or if you here, I gotta rephrase this right. If you were going for a guy and you got your kit and you've been attacking this guy, you're somewhat stacked. He doesn't even have a weapon yet. If he even has a wood axe, you're basically fine. It's a guaranteed kill because the wolf is just gonna fucking shred him unless he has like
Yeah,
two pieces of iron armor. That's the only
and
time
that's
it's
rare.
broken. And yeah, once again, that's so rare, especially off the start. That's and barbarians just because it's just strong.
Yeah,
Like
you
it's
just
just
like you press right click and the person's over there now, and then like you play it if you have
you
like
throw them the fuck around and then you deal more damage. I
well
think
if you play it high IQ, you just yeet them off a ledge and they're dead. Or
if you're really classy, you twirl them into a fucking thing of lava and they just burn to death.
yeah,
Like because there's a lot of maps with lava on Mineplex still is.
well
But
like
yeah,
they don't change because Mineplex is so dead.
sooner or later Mineplex will shut down. I think it's going to shut down
It
by early
will
next year.
because
Whopping
it's
player base of 200.
well it's Bedrock player base is a lot higher than its.
It's still Bedrock player bases are shockingly high on everything.
That's because there's Hypixel hasn't got into it, and they probably won't
They
since the
have a
job.
server. They have a Bedrock server, don't they?
No, they don't.
Oh, I thought they did.
They since they're basically the sole king of Java, they won't make one because they know that the Hive right now is the best
Bedrock and will
Bedrocks.
stay the best Bedrock server.
Yes, because they actually care about it. That's why they basically said, "Hey, we're not gonna keep our Java server since no one plays it, and we're
Actually,
just gonna
here
switch."
we're running out of time here, but I will say one last thing about the Hive. Sorry to cut you off. The Hive actually had a semi decent player base for like how much it didn't even descend a lot. It had an
No,
average Java player base of like 3,000 to 5,000 on a good day, right?
yeah.
And then its player base when they shut it down was about like 800. Like it wasn't that bad. It was pretty consistent.
That they were having 20,000 people on Bedrock play it.
Exactly. They were having 20 to 50,000 on Bedrock and they were like, "Well, there's no reason to keep it up." So they didn't. It's about that
Yeah.
simple.
And they basically
Um
just took all their games and just like moved them. Like that's
yeah.
all that they did.
And then Hypixel scanned them with a block party, but that's something. Okay.
Yeah.
Um
Death Run is still apparently now Bedrock exclusive.
yeah, okay. How do you want to wrap this up? I'll let you wrap this up.
We'll just wrap it up with the good old
Don't say what you did last time. I swear to fucking
yeah.
God, I am not letting you say that. That was
How are
like
you
that was
scuffed? Scuffed as
okay.
hell.
Take two.
So,
You got this, man. You got this. You can do it.
well, all I'm gonna say is that uh, just stay safe out there, and please don't end up like us with our
No.
gaming addictions. Please
At least
don't.
Minecraft. That's basically the whole gist of
Go
it.
touch
Minecraft.
go touch some grass,
It's
please.
not that hard, guys. And no, it can't be said from me, but it's not that hard, guys. It's not.
Just go touch some grass and everything will be all fine.
All right. Yeah. Thank you to whoever watched this. Yeah, have whatever the fuck day it is. Don't die or don't be stupid. Don't be that dumb. Don't get addicted to Minecraft. That simple. Yeah. Bye-bye.